How do we find joy when we can't change what's happening around us? As I'm recording this, a massive winter storm is moving across the United States, from Texas all the way to New England, bringing with it snow, ice, and disruption to millions of people. And it raises this question for many of us. Today, we'll explore why joy isn't dependent on circumstances and how choosing presence can transform even the coldest, most inconvenient seasons of life.
Welcome to the Live Right Now podcast with me, Allan. This is where mindfulness meets everyday life. Thanks for joining me for this reflection on living with intention. Let's talk about how we can live right now.
Hello, beautiful souls. It's Allan. Welcome to Live Right Now. I'm not sure if you can see what's happening behind me, but as I mentioned in the opening, a big winter storm is sweeping across a huge portion of the country right now. You might be able to see some of the snowflakes. For some, it means heavy snow, and for others, dangerous ice. Where I am, travel warnings have been issued, flights are being canceled, plans are being changed or erased entirely. This isn't a passing inconvenience. It's the kind of weather event that forces life to slow down, whether you're ready for that or not. And in the middle of all of this, I keep coming back to a quote that my friend Greg shared that immediately connected with me when I first heard it. It says, if you choose not to find joy in the snow, you'll have less joy in your life, but still the same amount of snow. No, the snow doesn't negotiate with us. It doesn't check our calendars, doesn't even care about our plans or our mood. It simply arrives. Have you noticed what happens the moment the meteorologist predicts snow? Most adults immediately start doing the math in their heads. How much shoveling am I going to have to do? How bad are the roads going to be? How is this going to affect my commute to work, my schedule, my plans? But every child asks a completely different question. Will there be enough to go sledding? Can we build a snowman? It's the same forecast, the same snow, but two very different experiences. Somewhere along the way, many of us traded curiosity for calculation. We stopped asking what might be possible and started focusing only on what might be inconvenient. So let me ask you this. As you're watching this storm unfold, or living through it, which voice shows up for you first? The adult doing the math, or the child imagining the fun that can be had? The snow stays the same, but our experience of it doesn't. I think this happens because, as the writer Ananis Nin said, we don't see things as they are, we see them as we are. Life isn't just happening to us. Our inner posture shapes how we experience everything that comes our way. You've heard that the journey matters more than the destination. Life isn't lived at the finish line. It's lived from the moment we take that first step and all the steps in the middle. It's lived in moments like these, when plans are disrupted and we're invited, whether we like it or not, to slow down. It's not just weather events that can interfere with our plans. Maybe you're between jobs, going through a divorce, or experiencing health issues. There's something to be learned in these seasons of life. During the tough times, there's an unexpected gift, if we're willing to accept it. Time. Time to slow down, time to be present, time to notice the important things that often get overlooked. During this time for me, I've been able to spend more intentional time with my family. I've been able to help my mother when she needs it without feeling rushed. I've been working on this podcast, and some days I've simply watched the sunset and allowed myself to be fully in the moment. By the way, I've been recording some of those moments and I'm sharing them as moments of mindfulness to go along with this podcast on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. Well, let me ask you this. Are you feeling hurried right now? Even when circumstances are forcing you to slow down? What moments might you be rushing past that deserve your attention? Joy, I'm learning, isn't something we earn later for surviving the hard parts now. The Dalai Lama put it this way: happiness is not something ready-made. It comes from your own actions. Joy isn't delivered when circumstances improve. It's cultivated by how we meet what's already here. If we refuse to find joy now, we don't get extra joy later. We just end up with less of it overall. The destination still arrives. The storm still passes. The season still changes. I want you to think about this as your storm moves through. What's one ordinary moment that you could choose to be fully present for instead of wishing it away? This week, I challenge you to choose one situation you can't change and intentionally look for one small moment of joy inside of it. The circumstances don't have to improve. The snow doesn't have to stop, but your experience of the moment can. Until next time, remember to make the most of every moment and live right now.
Thanks for being part of Live Right Now. If you like what you've heard, I encourage you to like and follow the podcast on YouTube or your favorite podcast platform and share it with someone who could use a little inspiration today. Join the conversation on our Facebook page or email me your thoughts at the address in the show notes. I'm Allan Haw. Until next time, make the most of every moment and remember to live right now.